Hey, how you guys doing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me all right? Microphone looks like it's not doing as well as it should be doing. Hopefully it's all right. I'm trying their live stream thing so the Hangouts. I don't know if it'll do any better. But yeah, welcome to another weekend AMA. I am your host, as always, Dylan this. I'm a little tired this week. I actually forgot to upload a video this week. It's the first time in a long time I didn't put any video up and out. It happens. What are you gonna do? You're gonna make mistakes. So, one idea I had that I've been working on and is this series that I think would be kind of fun. I don't really have the time with the course that I'm building to do like long 1 hour plus tutorials. I just don't have the time. So what I've been doing is these little 5-minute sort of projects, 5-minute front end type things. And so far they've been pretty cool. I haven't released any yet, but they're coming soon. Don't worry. And I've done like little animations and like, little things like having something float into frame, fade. So I thought I'd ask if anyone had any, like, what would be something for in about 5 minutes or so that you think could be covered? Something fun and exciting. There you go. What's going on, Waldo Matt Whack Maldo? I just got out of the shower. April's making me a little bit of top ramen. I apologize. We actually have good food in there, but I've just eaten so much shit food in my life that when I'm tired, I go to my roots. You know what I mean? Like, I go to my foundations where I just start eating shit I shouldn't be eating. It happens. What are you gonna do about it? Sometimes it feels good to eat 30 cents of food. Could I recommend any sites like Code Wars? I used to be called Coding Fights. Now it's called Code Signal, but I really like them. They're one of the ones that I like. I think their UI is pretty cool. I think their problems are pretty realistic. They base some of their problems off of what like tech companies would ask, and that's been pretty realistic in my past when I've been interviewing with them. When do you plan on releasing the new course, dude? I'm telling you, guys, this course is big. There's a lot of stuff. I'm working on it almost every day, and I still think it's not going to be for about 3-4 more months. Yeah, it's gonna be a minute. So I know I've been talking about it, but it's just because I'm working on it. it's the thing I've been putting like all my free time into, and it's been fun. Yeah, it's also going to cover everything job search related. So like, I have a whole section about. So really, what it is everything I know. That's the gist of it. Everything I've learned as a professional, everything I've learned as a front end engineer, with some back end in there as well. I started out with the goal of 100 topics, and I've got rid of about 5 or so that I think were a little bit too similar. But topics, technologies, frameworks, and like, it is in that 100 topic range. And it's going to have 30 projects. It's going to have about 30 different quizzes. It's up there. So it's a currently, in terms of like sections on there. And mind you, some of these sections are 30 minutes long a piece. Most are within 5 minutes a piece, but some are extremely long. Sometimes some longer than 30 minutes. I'm at 511. It maxes out at 550. I started at 500. I've already added 11, and I've only done maybe the first 50 videos, something like that, maybe 60. So it's going to be quite a bit. I don't know about Treehouse's new UI UX thing. I did ask Ricky Garcia, who reviews all these sort of online programs, and I said, hey, recently, hey man, what would be a good um, UI UX program? Because that's something April's doing on Udemy right now. And I was like, once she gets done through a couple of Udemy courses, putting her in a more formal thing, and that's the one he recommended. And I have general faith in Ricky. So Ricky, I think knows what he's talking about most of the time. um, should you still have an education section on your resume if you didn't go to college? I don't. So, and thank you for the cappuccino. Cappuccino. Kappa says, thank you for the help with the $1.99 donation. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Um, but yeah, so the course is going to be a while. That's also another thing of why I'm like trying to come up with like little 5-minute ideas of how I could do. So the goal will be to do front end, like little front end topics or projects. Like it could be even something easy. Like in 5 minutes, it can't get too complicated. So like 5 minutes in almost like a little blog post. Or maybe I'll just teach you how to do a spinning animation. So far, all I got is animations. That's why I keep talking about it. But something easy. So if you guys have any requests, I also might do. I might up it to 15 minutes. Nothing too crazy. 5 minutes is pretty short. I have a job interview in a few days, but I'm so nervous because this is going to be my first job interview. Any advice? Yeah, practice. So, like, the number one piece of advice I'd say for you for your first job interview is be prepared. And what that means is you should have an idea of what they're going to ask you based on the position. If it's a front end position, they're going to ask you about HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You might have to do whiteboard problems. So, um, what uh, so you need to prep for those things. And what I would also say is, even if you take it, just try not to be too nervous. Try to be prepared for failure, and try to show that you're eager. Right? Try and really tell them that try and really sell yourself in the sense that you are a developer that just doesn't have experience. That's the best way I can put it. And if you have been coding, you have started side projects, and you have been going to meetups, really tell them about that. And honestly, it'll be very apparent once you get going. When do you think the full universe will be ready? I don't even know what that means. She was learning Python. Did she find that coding wasn't for her? I think it's a little bit of a learning curve for her with that. Um, I think she may come back to it. Sort of, she's a little bit all over. I suffer from this too, where ooh, watch out, buddy. Jesus, what's all that?
It's your ramen.
Oh,
Let it sit for a second. So
what's that on the top of it?
Something special. Come on, get it. Oh.
Is it fish?
Yeah, it's fish.
Okay, so I'm not sure. I apologize, guys. I'm starving, but I want to do my live stream because I'm just not going to have time in the next couple days. Look at this. I asked for like $1.99 ramen, and she spiced it all up. This is top ramen in there. This is literally top ramen that she threw a bunch of stuff in. Like here, you can actually see the brick of it is still like that's the brick. That's the brick of it. It's honestly smelling a little too spicy for my gringo ass. I don't know. She put a little some tang in here that uh, I'm quite not ready for. But yeah, so for your for your interview, understand that this could be one of many, or you may be lucky and go forward. But the best thing that you can do is be prepared. The best thing that you can do is study those common phone interview questions. Study, practice whiteboarding algorithms, all that sort of stuff. Be prepared to sell yourself, to talk about yourself. If you feel like a lot of people I feel like don't focus enough on the communication aspect of it. Get good at that. Get good at talking. Get good at, look how bitter my cat is that I kicked him out of my lap. I saw his face in the background. It's like a salty ass. But get good at really communicating to yourself, and that will help you, especially for junior level roles. What is my opinion of George Hotz? Honestly, until you mentioned him right now, I had no idea who he was. So I can't really give an opinion. What other programming language do I recommend for you learning other than sort of the front end pieces? Well, I recommend you learning anything that there's jobs in, and anything that um, anything that you're interested in more than anything else. So something I would recommend is Python. Lots of jobs in Python seems to be growing very, very much. So another thing I'd recommend is AWS. Not really a programming language, but if that's some direction you're looking to go in. DevOps is a field that is rapidly growing, so that'd definitely be something worth checking out. When's the collab with Joshua Fluke? Soon, hopefully. I was on, dude. That guy is hustling. I got nothing but love and respect for Josh. So I recently started watching his channel not too long ago. Like, you just get a bunch of these. I don't know about you guys, but I watch a lot of coding videos, Hearthstone videos, and MMA videos. Those are like my three things. So I get recommended those three things constantly. And finally, I subbed to Josh, probably later than I should have. I want to say when he's around 40,000 subscribers, and just loving it, man. I don't watch all his videos, but recently I've been catching a lot of his live streams. And that man, ever since he's like, look, I'm going balls deep. This is it. I'm doing it, baby. I'm doing the YouTubes. Hustle. Not to say he wasn't hustling before, but now he's hustling to the bone. Before, just a little bit of blood, probably hustling to some blood, but yeah, I want to do a collab with him. I've just been a little burnt out lately and a little tired, and we'll collab sometime in the near future. I want to wait until I'm 100%. You know what I mean? Am I still going Dev Mountain? No, I furloughed until April. So after about 2 weeks, with me starting my new job, I wanted to make sure that I was 100% with the new job. And so I furloughed. That's what this week's video was supposed to be about. Is like how easy it was to furlough and move on to the next semester. It's just the timing of it worked out so poorly where I started a brand new job. Then I started this boot camp, and it was just very hard to struggle while making sure that I was where I needed to be. So yeah, but I'll be back to get going in about 2 months. I didn't know he made supplements, man. That guy's intense though. I see Josh on his live stream, and like every time I see him, he's like, "Look," like when he was doing the Dave Ramsey, he's like, "I'm answering your question like Dave Ramsey." It's just he got the side thing going on, and he's like, "No bullshit. This is what you gonna do. This and that." And I was just like, "Dude, I'm loving every minute of it. I'm absolutely loving it." It wouldn't surprise me that he makes his own supplements. That guy's about it. All right. It's getting a little hot in here. How well do I have to know HTML and CSS before jumping into JavaScript or Python? Not well at all. I mean, it's believe it or not, it's somewhat unrelated. I do front end, my friend. If you could do YouTube full time, would you, or do you like doing dev full time? So this is always an interesting question because I love doing dev full time, but would I do YouTube full time? Well, you have to understand what that means financially right now. That's not to say YouTube couldn't go and become something bigger, but I'm a full-time salaried employee, and not counting bonuses, I make about $55 an hour if you wanted to break that down. So not counting bonuses, if my hourly breakdown is about 55 an hour, that doesn't count my PTO, that doesn't count my benefits, that doesn't count anything else. YouTube, I make about $40,000 a year right now. And that's not just like YouTube ad revenue. That's probably closer to 30 now that I think about it. That's courses, that's sponsored videos, that's ad revenue. So financially speaking, until YouTube matches what I'm able to make, and mind you, of that 40,000, I pay about 30% of taxes on that, just off the top. So because maybe 40% is probably because I'm a contractor under all that money is essentially contract money, which means I'm taxed twice as hard as I am an employee. Because the corporation YouTube doesn't have to pay that part of the taxes, right? So it's really, if I make 40, it's probably more like 25 in my pocket, 20. So there's a financial aspect. Would I like to do it? Absolutely, because then I do full dev for me. You know what I mean? Like, that's the real thing. I can do full dev for me. So absolutely, it'd be a dream of mine. And will it happen someday? Maybe. But right now, I think I'm more likely to continue it as a side project and build other side projects in the progress to make the difference up. Because realistically, to be at where I'm at, PTO, income, all that sort of stuff, I have to make like 200 grand on YouTube, and we got a 5-6 fold what we're doing right now to get to where we're at. What I would probably do, even if I was making that much, or making like 150 grand off YouTube, I'd probably just work for about a year or two and just save up a shit ton of money. That'd probably be what I would do before I would jump ship. Is my cat all right? Yeah, man. What's wrong with him? Doesn't he look like he's chilling? He looks happy to me. Should someone say being a dev a bad job when you see another YouTube leaving the career to do full-time job? I actually was going to do a video about this because it's happening so often. But you have to understand, it's the dream. It's the dream to work for yourself. And once you've really dove into it and you're making your own money, it's great. It's so dope because not only you're living the dream. You really are, because you get the ability to, every dollar you make, you keep minus taxes. Every hour that you spend is going towards you, right? You make your own hours. You can make as much money as you want. It's just hard and it's not guaranteed. But I completely understand. Here's the thing. I completely understand why all these software dev channels, and not just Josh, right? There's a lot of channels out there. How many times have you seen a YouTuber like a dev channel? How many dev channels that you've seen go and like have a video come out 6 months after they hit like 75,000, 100,000 subs? Like, I quit my job doing YouTube full time. Some do it like 10,000, 15,000. Why? Because now you get to work for yourself. Now you get to make your own money. Now you get to pursue things that you want to pursue. I would love to do that. But I'm a little money hungry. I enjoy, for the most part, working as a dev. I'm not quite yet ready to do that. Now, I'll tell you what. If I was one of those devs that made, by the way, not every dev's gonna make six figures, right? There's a lot of people out there who suck, and I work in the front end, which is in the lower paying tier, but I'm good at what I do, and I'm always working in the latest and greatest, and I can make things work in a relatively clean and suitable fashion, so I get paid well. But there's plenty of front end devs who make a third of what I make because they're shit, and they're still working in jQuery, right? Uh, and that's fine. But like, if I was making 40 grand a year, if I was making 50, if I was making maybe just $20,000 more as a developer than as a YouTuber, I'd be there. I'd have that video out 2 years ago where I'd be like, guess what? I'm doing YouTube full time, baby. Yeah, but that's because I'm money hungry. I'm not saying that's what everyone's doing, but that's what I would be doing because I'm money hungry. Uh, so because I'm money hungry, what I want to figure out. I want to figure out how to get the best of both worlds. That's what I'm trying to do. And right now, I am, I'm, for lack of a better word, sucking that corporate D, and I'm working my way up, saving, investing. I got a nice house that I wanted, and I'm doing all the things that I wanted to do so that maybe by 35, in 4 years or less, I've launched enough side projects, I've launched enough this and that, that I have a couple platforms, a couple passive income streams built up, and I can still live the life that I want. So I'm just taking a different approach to it. Everyone's got their own approach, but I completely understand. I get more water, guys. Hi, puppers. You want to come say hi to the camera? Yeah. Show everyone how big you've gotten. Come here, Gator. Come on, buddy. Show you guys the dog. He come here. I don't know if any of you have remember my dog, but he is quite. Come here. Oh, we got him. God, I don't know, maybe a month and a half. Oh, he's gone. We're just getting a. He's so big, huh? He's so big. This is Gator. If no one's met him before, he's maybe about 4 months now. But no, don't bite that. But he's gotten quite big. We're actually getting a fence put in. I just dropped $5,000 on a fence for the house. Good boy. So that now he's trying to get my food. So that we have him run around in the backyard because he's been a little bit too energetic in the house. A little bit sooner than I thought we were gonna spend the money, but fences ain't cheap, man. Hey. So if you're trying to apply to an area, what I would advise you is put your current city, but put willing to relocate, and have a good answer when they ask you about it. Be like, oh, my girlfriend's there, my boyfriend's there, whatever it is. I have family there. Transitioning there is going to be easy. Have a good answer, and reason why. So that'd be my advice. When I moved from Los Angeles to Tampa, Florida, I had willing to relocate on my thing, and people would ask me why. I was like, dude, I'm trying to get out of here. It sucks. So just be ready. There's certain YouTubers who are suspicious of learn to code in 3 months with two treehouse people. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Can you learn to code in 3 months? Absolutely. Can you be a proficient developer in 3 months? No, definitely not. Not in my opinion. It's just part of the journey. And learn to code is a very just that phrase alone. Like I can teach you the fundamentals of any object-oriented programming language in an hour. I'd teach you about variables, data types, functions, objects, properties, like control flow. We can teach you the bare minimum of what it means to code in an hour. Now, whether you can apply that is a whole nother thing. Just got a 6-month boot camp. Thanks to the inspiration. What should I do most for the first job? LinkedIn, Glassdoor. So you have to have a good LinkedIn. You have to have a good GitHub. If you can, get a portfolio site together. Clean resume. Clean resume. So that's I should do a video on my resume. I like my resume. Do you use prototypes at work? Can you briefly explain? We all use prototypes, whether you realize it or not. So prototype is really JavaScript's objects. So objects for most languages are immutable, meaning that you cannot change the core object. Like you can have a class that builds a new object, and you can change those properties, but the prototype itself, the main constructor, is immutable. You're not going to be able to delete properties and methods off of that class. So all you have to know about prototypes is that inheritance properly doesn't really work, and it is a object that you can change. Whether you should or not is a whole different discussion. I lean towards no, but that's really it. Prototypes are nothing more than bootleg objects. That's all they are. They're dynamic objects that really any other language would scoff at you for having such a thing. Have I ever been asked about DOM manipulation in an interview? I mean, to a degree, yeah. I mean, that's my whole job, is manipulating the DOM. All right. Do you recommend front to back cracking the coding interview for interview prep? Look, if you're doing algorithms, I only got 100-page into the cracking of the coding interview, but that is the #1 resource according to everybody else. It is the driest book in the world. Whenever I decide I'm gonna go work at like Google, Microsoft, or Amazon or Facebook, I'll have to read it. That's it. Honestly, in the front end, none of that crap matters. None of that shit matters. Do designers know any web coding, or do they just give wireframes build off? Typically, your average UI UX person will be interested in at least front end. It depends, though. I wouldn't say it's a must-have, but if they're good, they typically understand the fundamentals of front end because they're designing the front end, and you should. Just like if you're a good front end developer, you understand the fundamentals of back end and APIs and how they work with you. Can you finish your work without Googling? I mean, only rely on stack knowledge. For the most part, yeah. I mean, there's things that. So what you have to understand is a good developer doesn't memorize; they learn by reference. You understand the core fundamentals, you understand the principles, you understand what it is you're trying to do. But when you don't remember something, when you want to do something, you're like, God, I don't remember that. You have to be able to reference back that was a thing. It's almost like, all right, let me put it this way. You know what? Everyone knows what a dictionary is. Lots of words in the dictionary. Some that you've heard of, some that you haven't. Now, some people might tell you that it's important for you to know what each one of those words are, and have their definitions. I just want you to know that word exists and means something in 100-foot vicinity. And then when you go, damn man, I'm stuck on that, but I'm 5 feet into this 100-foot vicinity topic, maybe I'll go down that route. And so you end up learning it's almost like I just want you to know what direction to go in. And that's the hardest part when you're getting started, is sometimes you don't even know how to ask the question. Sometimes you don't know what question you're trying to ask, and you're like, I don't understand. Not doing it. I wanted to do it. And like you don't have the vocabulary. You don't have the understanding to even know what's wrong yet. Right? It's the most frustrating thing in the world. So, so learn by reference. So can I do the majority of my job without Googling? Yeah. Do I Google shit every day? I'll give you a perfect example. I had a user story that wanted, hey, when I start on page 1, I go to page 2, and I go back to page 1, I want it to jump to the same page that I clicked that took me to page 2. The same part of the page. So if I'm at 3/4 down, I want you to jump right there. Okay. Cool, no problem. I, dynamically added some hash when you hit back, appended it, and then I was like, damn man, all right, I remembered that part. That was cool, no problem. Oh, this shit, it just goes here to here, here to here, here to here. That's a bad user experience. How can I solve that? Well, I'm sure I'm not the first person to ever think of that. So what did I do? Well, I did a quick search, and I found I was like, I know there's a CSS property for this. God, I don't remember what it is because I do this about once a decade. And so I go and look, oh, yeah, it's scroll behavior. Cool. Scroll behavior smooth. Bam. Killer Gorilla, just completed my first week as a dev. I gotta say, the shit we did in college wasn't even near as complex, so I wasn't introduced to week 1. After you demo the weekend, I go, yeah. So be prepared to devote the first 3 months of any job to just prep, to getting going, to getting up and running. Gidman 1. I haven't been as actively. Yeah, man. Starting a new job. I got the dog. I was working on the course. I haven't been doing it. You're right. You're right though. I want to get back up to 2-3 videos a week. I gotta find that passion again. The push on. We'll get there. Have you ever met a coworker who puts bugs on codes, fix it later so you can take the credit? Well, I've met one. No. That's funny. What's the new job? I can't. It's in the Tampa area. I work at a music distribution company. That's pretty much all I can say. Most of those companies don't like you talking about them, especially on a social media platform. Not to say that they've told me not to, but pretty much every contract you'll sign will have some sort of thing that you can't really talk about. How much do I get paid? About $55 an hour if you were to break my salary down, not counting bonuses. Dealing with toxic coworkers is a topic within itself, yeah. Yeah. I honestly would just talk to my manager. If they didn't do anything about it, just leave. Who wants to deal with toxic coworkers? Can I sing Funky Town? If the price is right. Is that an issue in the dev world, toxic coworkers? It's not one I've ever had, but I'm pretty mellow. I say probably your number one issue is just going to be unreasonable business people. They're just going to companies like to because devs are gonna be the pretty much the most expensive resource that any company has, and so they're gonna try and bleed you dry, and eventually they'll burn you out, and then you'll just go elsewhere. That's probably a more likely situation. You seem like you're an introvert. Does that affect you in the workplace? Sometimes. I'm much more introverted than someone who puts themselves on camera and talks to people once a week over the internet probably normally is. But yeah, I go out of my way to try and start conversations and do it. But like, that's really just with devs. Like, there's people, I've been at my workplace for like 3-4 weeks. I don't even talk to anybody else. Like, I know I'm an introvert. Someone came by and like gave me Hershey kisses for Valentine's Day, like the whole work, right? And then that was like our first introduction. I just stay away. I don't I just go and I do my thing, and that's it. You should probably just finish your degree in biochemistry and just skill up on the side if that's what you. I wouldn't cancel your degree if you're close to being done. Should I talk to developers as opposed to HR internal recruiters? I don't have CS degree, but I can code. I mean, talk to everyone you can. That's the truth of the matter. The cat makes me look, boss. Look at you. Oh. What up, dude? I've been with you almost since the beginning. You just got a job in Dublin, dev job in Dublin. Thanks, man. You got me through the rough times. Good for you, Thomas, man. Hey. Good for you, man. I know Crusader Rabbits you're looking forward to. You always ask me, where is it, Dylan? Where is it? I'm working on it every day. I swear to you guys. Yeah. Honestly, if you're looking for ways to get by the HR firewall, some people give John a lot of shit for his book, The Complete Software Developer's Career Guide, because it's very entry level, intermediate, but it has great ideas in it, and it's a fantastic and fun read. I read through it in like a week, and it's like 900 pages. I highly recommend you check it out. There's a link in the description below where you can get it and help your brother out with like a 3% affiliate cut. Ruben, you can get a job if you can do code, regardless if you have a minor or master's. Nothing. Should I take a low paying job just to get experience? Absolutely. As long as you're a savage like me and willing to job hunt. Absolutely. Take that, get that experience 6 months in. If they don't give you a raise, go get a raise. 6 months in, you ain't up to $30 an hour, go get $30 an hour. You know what I'm saying? A year and a half in, you're not up to $40 an hour, go get $40 an hour. All right? That cat, look, my cats are not chubby. They've been stacking gains. All right? By the way, in the animal kingdom, when you got a little bit extra, it's because you're out there punking fools and taking all the food. All right? Can you talk about other devs you worked with that didn't have a degree? Yeah, one of the technically he had an associate's, but that's not a real degree. No one cares about your associates. It's bachelor's or nothing. Best developer I've ever worked with. It's one of the reasons I got a 45% raise this year. So, actually, it might even be more than that. What is the raise I got this year? Last year. Let's see. 46.67, 47%. I can't tell if you're serious. I'm 100% serious. I'm 100% serious. Here's the thing, guys. I mean this to you as sincerely as I can put it. Take an entry level role. 6 months in, after you've been grinding. I'm not saying go in there and grind and just accept that, oh, I got 6 months experience, that's it. Grind for 6 months while you're there. Learn everything you can. Build projects outside of it. And at 6 months, get your resume together, get your LinkedIn together, start going to meetups. It's time to job hop. Okay? If you are as a junior developer and you're getting a shitty wage, that's fine. But it's up to your work to keep you. Grind. Get good. At 6 months, be at where you would be with 2 years experience. Okay? 6 months, you're going to be like you had 2 years experience. From there, go and get a 50% raise if you're making $20 an hour in the States or whatever it is. You're getting shitty, go get a 30% raise. Should I learn web development first from books or online tutorials? I'd recommend online tutorials, but I think both are good. I think books are more so for an intermediate area. Do your coworkers talk about your channel when you come in the next day? Not really. There's one old coworker, my boy Jesse. Jesse would jump in the live streams on occasion, and he'd talk to me about it. Is that why I did? I left after 6 months. I left at 1 year. It's mainly because of a stressful work environment. You want to know my full? I got a 3-month internship for $12 an hour. This is starting about 4.5 years ago. I was a miserable college student, and I was like, I gotta drop out somehow, but I have to have a plan. Got a internship for $12 an hour. That was 2 hours each way. I had to be there at 6 a.m. in the morning. Cool. All right, I'm still in school. Do that for 3 months. Still in school, they hire me as a contractor for $20 an hour. Okay, I work with them about 3 to 6 months. And then it ends, and it's just sort of difficult to work with them. Anyhow. So I go $12 for 3 months. 6 months later, I'm at $20 an hour. From there, I accept a job as a technical writer. Okay, as a technical writer at a software company. I'm not actually doing code, at a software company doing technical documentation and video editing, and essentially a technical documentation and a business analyst role. $22 an hour. 12, 20, 22. I study for 9 months. I'm working a full-time job, studied 4 hours a day weekdays and like 14 on the weekends. Okay, grinding, absolutely grinding for 9 months till I get my next job. Next job, go from 45K to all the way over to Tampa, Florida, 3,000 miles away. No, I didn't go to a boot camp. I'm a 2-time college dropout and all-time online free resource learner. So I'm grinding, right? Okay, cool. I go from 45K to 62K. All right, 62K, and this is my first dev job. I drive all the way across country, about 3,000 miles to a place I don't know. You know why? Because I was willing to go to goddamn North Korea if they were going to hire me to be a developer. Okay, I also wanted to get out of California, but I was grinding. All right. 3 months later, I get a bump to 67K. All right, 67K. And you know why? Because they offered me $5,000 cash to help me relocate, or a $5,000 salary bump after 3 months. When I came down to Florida, I had $500 to my name. I could have taken the $5,000 cash, but you know what? Bigger salary short term means bigger salary long term. All right. So I put that on progress. Next job, 1 year later, 9 months later from the 67K bump, 75K bump. Okay, not too bad. So damn, man. Okay, well, I wanted a bigger jump than 8K. Got to take what you can get. I need to get better. All right, 1 year later, I've been grinding, 105K. 1 year later. 6 months later, 110. 9 pay bumps. 4 years. $12 an hour, $55 an hour, $53.50, something like that. So when I say take that first job, grind, I mean it. That's the history of my last 4 years of what is it? And you're saying we had 9 pay bumps. How many jobs? We had an internship. We had a technical writer. We had a first dev job, second dev job, and then my third dev job. So what do I mean by grind? I mean that if you don't have a LinkedIn that you have perfected, I mean, if you don't have a resume you have perfected, if you don't have a GitHub that is being pushed to on a weekly basis, if you ain't out there writing blog posts, if you ain't out there giving speeches, if you ain't out there on a daily basis saying, you know what, man? How am I going to get from 62,000 to 70,000? How are you going to do that? And you don't sit down and figure out the answer to that question? That's what I mean by grind. You go and get the answer. Do your employers automatically give you a pay bump, or did you ask? No one. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. No one walks up to you and gives you a 40% pay bump. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. No one. You did an awesome job, Dylan. We know you didn't say nothing. We know you. That guy Dylan, he's killing it. You know, he's getting market rate. That's good. Yeah, I'm glad we're paying him market rate. You know what market rate for me in Tampa is? With my experience, it's about $70,000. So you say, damn, man, how do you at 2 years of experience go and make 6 figures in a market where there's 70K? You get good. You grind those 2 years until you're a senior dev. Is an associate degree in computer science better than nothing? Of course it is. Get good. That's it. Put in the time, the effort, the energy. Yeah. By the way, you want to talk here? You want to talk about, like, does someone walk up and give you a $30,000 raise or give you a 40% raise? No. Allegedly, I was told that they were going to give me half that much. Yeah, we really, I looked at salaries and, like, everyone talked to you. You're doing a fantastic job, Dylan. And this is when I put in my notice to quit my last job 6 months before I eventually left. But yeah, I was like, all right, well, that's good to know. But this offer here is for $30,000 more. So at the very least, you could say I doubled what they were giving. And by the way, a 15K raise is a fantastic raise. That's a raise that a company gives you when they say, we like you, we want to keep you around. We're going to give you a 15K raise your first year. That's a fantastic raise. What do you think about the shade that Matt threw at you in one of his last visits? He's not a fan of your LinkedIn profile pic. He's told me this time and time again. He doesn't like my LinkedIn profile pic. I tend to agree. so it's kind of a fun / quirky profile pic. The truth of the matter is, I haven't sat down and gone and got like a professional photo. I don't think it matters as much as he thinks it matters, but he's very heavy in the marketing aspect, and perhaps he knows better than I do. So I should apply jobs that want bachelors even though I only have associates? Yes. Yeah, people think, hey, Dylan, you're doing a great job. Let me give you a raise. No. Nah. No. Internship, $12 an hour. Go 20. Internship ended. They wanted to hire me. They wanted to pay me 15. I argued for 20. Very first technical writer job, $22 an hour. I was there 9 months, no raise. That's fine. I don't really expect a raise till a year. But I wanted to be a dev. I told them that when I started there. Went and got a $17,000 raise on my own, going to get a job. And that 5K pay bump, that's from me taking a long-term plan deal. Okay. The 8K pay bump from there, or whatever it was, that's me going and getting another job. 30K pay bump, that's me going and getting a counter offer. A 5K pay bump, that's just me going and leaving my job. So, and that's not really, that sort of evened out because I traded a bonus for that. Should you start practicing algorithms after the basics? Yes, you just practice it all, man. I don't want you to get stuck on it. How old was I when I started learning code? Maybe 26, 25, maybe. Yeah, was I really something like that? Any tips for Java developer? Java. A lot of larger organizations work in Java. What I would say is, it seems like Spring framework is a must-have for that. Many people say Angular is obsolete, and I am learning it. Should I quit and learn React? They're all the same. Just learn them all. So you should already be familiar with the latest JavaScript ES6 Plus, right? That's my recommendation. But you're probably better off maybe building 2-3 projects over 2 weekends in jQuery and then just immediately ditching it. How many vanilla JavaScript projects should I have? 1 or less. You're saying, Dylan, why would you have 1 or less? Because every company you're going to work at is going to use a framework. There's 3 major frameworks for a reason. It's because doing vanilla JavaScript DOM manipulation sucks. Frameworks are created to provide solutions to problems. A couple of videos on applied designs that are helpful. No one actually has a video on. Thank you. You're welcome, man. When you say grind, do you simply mean learn all that you can about programming? What I mean is to really hammer it down. What I mean is understand what it is you're trying to accomplish. You're saying, I want to become, so Dylan, all right, Dylan, you know what? I have no originality. I want to do what you did, Dylan. Okay, what is it that I did? Well, I became a full stack developer. I developed an online presence. I developed a active GitHub. I perfected my LinkedIn, my resume. I did all this sort of stuff. I created an online presence. I have a side project. I went to meetups, but really what I did was I created a list. I said, okay, I want to be a front end developer. That seems like that seems like a great way to get starting. So what are the technologies I need? How did I define that list? I just looked at the jobs. I typed in front end engineer, front end developer, and I looked for about a week at every single job app that came out every single day. And I said, what are the core technologies that keep popping up? Made a list, said, gotta learn these. That's what I did. And then I worked at it every single day in every single way that I could figure out how to. Some days I made great progress. Some days I took one step forward, but I always took a step forward. So just move forward every day and you'll get there. Have you ever been stuck in the car? Like you ever just sat, like literally you had like a 16-hour car ride or a road trip or something like that, and children will think about every single minute. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? That's tiring. It's absolute tiring. It's draining. Now, the way that trip goes faster is you just fully understand that you're every minute. Now in the car ride, you're just sitting there. But if you could actively move forward in the time that you have of that car ride, and that you arrive there, you're going to it's going to continue to move forward. That's it. You just have to understand that like every day you work at coding, you get better at coding. Every day you work towards being a good developer, you become a better developer. Maybe not as fast as you want, maybe slower than you're happy with, but you do move forward. All right, guys. It's about 1 hour now. I want to thank our one donator, Cappuccino. I might have said that wrong, but let me see here. We got Cap Pacino. So thank you for helping donate $2. I appreciate that very much. Um, so thank you for that. If you're interested in any of my courses and you want a good way to practice for those technical interviews, I'd recommend the 100 Algorithm Challenge. You can get them in the link below, in the links below, and I guess in the description below where the links are. So I want to thank you all for that. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to work on getting a couple animation videos out for you. Try to do some 5 or 15-minute sort of quick little projects. And from there, hopefully make it for my boy CR here for the channel. Stop dying. I'm gonna try and kick up the effort a little bit. You know what? I'm not going to try. It's just we're getting off topic here, but I need to be honest with myself because I said this to April about something the other day. Is about 4 or 5 years ago when I decided I was going to drop out of college, and I was like, you know what? There's no more trying. You know what trying got me? It got me depressed. It got me angry. It got me feeling like a loser. Now I just do. I may not do it right. I may not do it as quick as I want, as good as I want, but I do. So I'm going to do 3 videos for next week. That's what I'm going to do. I hope you enjoy them. I hope they are quality, but you're getting 3 videos. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.